comes to financing, I think it's a horrible system. And it's abused, period, by both sides. And it's not just contractors on this side or the other, it's everything from the teachers union to Tom Steyer, a Democrat, who gives $120 million to people who support his agenda in Washington. I don't know how you can change that part of it, but what you can change is the campaign limits on a candidate. Right now, if any of you fall in love with me and say, I want to support you and max out, you can give me $2,700, for which I'd be eternally grateful. But if you give me $2,701, somehow it's corrupted. On the other hand, you could write a $27 million check to a PAC supporting me that runs ads, and yet it's all perfectly okay. That makes no sense. What has happened is campaigns controlled by the candidates have limited resources, and the super PACs out there running ads right now in New Hampshire have unlimited access to funds, but there's no accountability. So I would increase the amount you could give to the actual candidate, hold them responsible, require immediate disclosure on the internet, and in that way try to limit the ability of the big money outside through those super PACs to disproportionately control campaigns. Yes, ma'am. Citizens United was a decision by the Supreme Court, you know, and it always, and I don't think we're going to change it legislatively. The Democrats actually advanced something that would allow the politicians in Washington to amend the First Amendment to decide what qualifies for political speech. That, to me, is an enormous threat to our personal freedom, and I would not support that. And I also think all the other
so then you're in favor of Citizens United, which says
it's the decision of the Supreme Court. I would prefer to have the funding go through the campaigns as opposed to that. But you know, unless we're going to have a fair system where politicians don't decide that this group can give and that group can't, I'd rather have higher contribution levels for the candidates. For donations that you get up to $250. And by the way, the first person to throw out accepting the federal matching dollars was a guy by the name of Barack Obama, who was a big campaign finance guy until he ran and then decided, well, I'm going to ignore the law. I would accept those caps and take those matching dollars.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Address this issue, because I see there's just no change. You know, like,
well, because then the candidate's accountable. If person X gives you dollars Y and you take it into your campaign, you have to disclose it, then people can ask you, don't you think that they're trying to buy influence or do something else? So it's an imperfect system. I don't know the solution to make it a perfect system, but I think it would be better than it is now. Yes, sir.
In Derry, we're trying to start a state-sponsored